What's up, everybody? I'm the MMA Casual, and today we're going to be going over my top 10 MMA GOATs. And I want to be clear about this. I'm going to make another video after this that's going to be speaking of a specific criteria based off point system. And I just want you to know today is my personal preference and who I believe deserves to be in the top 10. And we're talking completely on skill set, their resume, and of course, how dominant they were, while they were dominant. So a lot of these guys are still fighting today, and I do believe that this list is very interchangeable depending on who you're talking about or what you value and what you prioritize. But before we get to it, do me a favor, like and subscribe. I'm a content creator slash podcast host coming from TikTok to YouTube, and I'm trying to grow. So do me a favor, share this video. All right, so let's get to it. At number 10, I'm actually putting in Israel Adesanya. I think he's the second best middleweight of all time, right behind Anderson Silva. And I think how he has come in with his style and just been dominant at this point in MMA, which, everybody's a complete mixed martial artist now, is undeniable. And I think he's my number 10. Number 9, I have Amanda Nunes. Yes, I know a lot of people didn't expect a female on this list, but I think she's undeniably one of the most dominant fighters to have ever stepped into the octagon. She's a double champ, and nobody's had an answer for her. And the only person who's beaten her and questioned it recently has been Juliana Pena. And she went back, fought her, and dominated her for 5 rounds and proved to her that that first fight was a fluke. So she's my number 9. At number 8, we have Daniel Cormier. Yes, a double champ on this list, of course. Well, he was very dominant in his light heavyweight division until he met his kryptonite, John Jones. From there, he went on to the heavyweight division and proved that he could be quite the MMA fighter in multiple divisions. He's a specialist whose wrestling was undeniably some of the best wrestling we saw besides someone like Triple C. So he's at number 8 on my list. Number 7, Alexander Volkanovski. He is undeniably one of the best featherweights of all time. And to be honest, I think he may be the best featherweight of all time when it's all said and done. Recently, we saw him move up to lightweight and give the performance of a lifetime in Australia against Islam Makhachev, the boogeyman of the lightweight division. With that being said, I still think he has a lot more to do in the sport, which he will do. And I think he's eventually going to maybe even hit my top 3. But as of now, he sits at a comfortable number 7. I guess it's only fair that at number 6, we put the best featherweight of all time. And you might think I'm going to say Conor McGregor, but if you do, you're sadly mistaken. I'm talking about Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo's had a career that we cannot explain. Over a decade being undefeated, 18 strike wins consecutively, coming from WEC into the UFC. And now for right before he retired, he had quite the run at the bantamweight division. I think there's no question about it. If you know anything about the sport, Jose Aldo is in your top 10. Now let's jump into the top 5. And unfortunately, I think the fighter I'm about to mention, a lot of people feel he should be closer to the top, but I think he retired a little too early. Yes, 29-0, lightweight champion, Khabib Nurmagomedov. I really do think he could have been one of the greatest ever if he would have stuck around a little bit longer, possibly 3 years, taking out a few more contenders. He was so dominant, but early in his career, he fought a lot of what I call tomato cans. And I just think his career was too short to put him up there with the greats I'm going to mention from here on out. So Khabib Nurmagomedov is at a comfortable number 5 in my all-time list. Number 4, yes, I know I've had him a little higher in my spot if you've watched my TikTok videos before, but I'm sitting him at a comfortable number 4. Anderson Silva, the best middleweight of all time. Stylistically, there was no one like him. And similar to John Jones, he came in at a point where he was fighting guys from the old school era who weren't full mixed martial artists. And then he came in and started facing some of the best guys of our current day who are full mixed martial artists. He even took on Israel Adesanya. Of course, he was older, but you got to respect what he's done. He has the most title defenses in the UFC, the longest streak. And that's why I have him at a comfortable 4. Number 3, this one's tough for me because I think he might be, these next 3 are interchangeable, depending on who you ask and why you ask them. But at number 3, I have Demetrius Johnson. There's no question how dominant this man has been. I think he wasn't as marketable as Dana White would have wanted him to be. And that's why a lot of people don't, take his talent and everything he's done. No, well, not everything he's done for the sport, but everything he's done in the octagon into account. But the man's a legend. I wish his resume was a little better. There was a point in his career where he didn't have enough competition in his division, but he's still being very dominant. Now he's the champion at the 1. And I think it's only fair to say that Demetrius Johnson is number 3 on my list. And it's you can't compare him to anyone I've mentioned before him. Moving on to number 2. Yes, George St. Pierre, one of the best mixed martial artists of all time. What a complete fighter. A great record, great resume, and most importantly, he's lost twice in his career, and both losses he's been able to avenge. There's no doubt that everybody loves George St. Pierre inside and outside of the octagon. He's a legend of the sport, and he's a very deserving number 2. And now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, the number 1 spot. You probably know what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. The best mixed martial artist of all time, and I don't really think there's even a debate, is John Jones. The man is a legend, and I mentioned it when I spoke about Anderson Silva. John Jones came in at a time where there was a huge evolution in mixed martial arts. You were going from seeing a lot of specialists and one-dimensional guys to people who started training mixed martial arts, and they were complete mixed martial artists. He came in and dominated the old guys, took out people like Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Chael Sonnen, Shogun Rua, and then he moves on to new school guys and just absolutely wipes the floor and even has people like Daniel Cormier under his belt. So I think he is undeniably the best champion of all time. I think he's undeniably the best mixed martial artist of all time. And I would love to debate anybody. So guys, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video. I'm very curious to see what you think. So be sure to comment below, share this video, and tell me how much of a casual you think I am. Have a good one.